Tunde was a man Lagos respected. He wasn't famous, but in his world, people knew him as someone you didn't cross. In his late 30s, tall and broad-shouldered, he carried himself with the kind of confidence that didn't need noise. He ran a logistics business, moving goods across the city with a fleet of buses. The job was stressful traffic at Apapa, endless quarrels with drivers, bribes at checkpoints, but it paid well enough. What really set him apart, though, was his principle. "I don't beg women," he often said at Friday hangouts in Surulere with his boys. "If you stress me, I walk away. Peace of mind is priceless." His friends laughed, but they knew he meant it. Tunde preferred older women. In his eyes, they were calmer, less dramatic. A woman in her late 30s or 40s knew what she wanted. They didn't nag over small things. They gave him quiet, and Tunde valued quiet. He wasn't married yet. People asked why, but he always shrugged. Marriage is not a race. Deep down, he wanted it, but only with someone who wouldn't drain his energy. Until then, he enjoyed his freedom. It was a Wednesday evening in Yaba that everything began to change. One of his buses had broken down, and while waiting for the mechanic, he leaned on his SUV near a suya stand. That's when he saw her. She couldn't have been more than 20. Slim but curvy, glowing in the fading Lagos sun. She wore jeans and a yellow top, arguing playfully with the suya man over onions. Her laughter rang out bright, careless, unbothered by the world. Tunde found himself staring longer than he should have. She caught him too. Instead of looking away shyly, she smirked. That confidence struck him. As he was about to leave, she walked past and said boldly, "Oga, you've been looking at me since. At least buy me suya instead of just staring." Tunde chuckled, shook his head, and handed the suya man money. Give her what she wants. That's how it started. Her name was Amaka, 20 years old, a mass communication student at a polytechnic. Sharp tongue, quick wit, and a fire in her eyes. He took her number that night. Soon, she was flooding his phone with teasing voice notes. "Uncle Tunde, you sound like a principal. Loosen up now." He found himself smiling at his phone, something he hadn't done in years. Within weeks, they were inseparable. He drove her to the beach on Sundays, took her shopping at Ikeja City Mall, waited outside her school just to see her. Older women had given him calm. Amaka gave him fire. One night, at a lounge in Lekki, she leaned into his ear and whispered, "You're not as tough as you pretend. You're soft when it comes to me." He laughed, but she was right. Their first night together sealed it. In his Surulere apartment, over dinner he had cooked himself. Laughter turned to kisses, and kisses to fire. Every touch from her was electric. Every kiss felt like magic. Their bodies fit like puzzle pieces, heat rising with every movement. It wasn't just sex, it was consuming. Afterwards, lying beside her, chest rising and falling, Tunde whispered to himself, "What is happening to me?" The man who once walked away from stress now found himself chasing it. The first time Amaka flared up, it shook him. He had come home late from work one Friday. She was waiting, pacing. "You didn't call, you didn't text, I've been here all day." Before he could explain, she smashed a glass against the floor. Tunde froze. Normally, that would have been the end. But looking at her eyes blazing, chest heaving, he felt anger mixing with desire. Instead of leaving, he held her wrists and kissed her hard. The fight turned to passion. Passion to fire. Afterwards, she cried in his arms. I can't stand feeling ignored." And he, the man who preached peace, stroked her hair and whispered, "It's okay, baby. I'm not going anywhere." Tunde had been disciplined with money, savings, investments, steady plans. With Amaka, that discipline vanished. One day she sighed, "My phone is old. Everyone has upgraded. I need an iPhone." The old Tunde would have laughed. The new Tunde was at Computer Village the next day, buying the latest model. His friends noticed. At the bar, Kunle shook his head. "Guy, this babe don't jazz you. Look at you, spending like Santa Claus." Tunde forced a laugh. "I just want to make her happy." Kunle frowned. "Nah, happiness or slavery you day do?" Tunde didn't answer. The whispers came first. Amaka seen with another guy in Ikeja. He ignored it. But one evening, her phone buzzed while she showered. A message flashed. "Last night was crazy. Can't stop thinking about you." His chest tightened. When she came out, he showed her the phone. She burst into tears immediately. It was a mistake, Tunde. You're the one I love. Please, don't leave me. She knelt, sobbing, clinging to him. His old self screamed to walk away. But he pulled her close, whispering, "Don't do it again." And just like that, he forgave her. Weeks turned into months. His friends stopped inviting him out. Kunle tried once more, visiting his apartment. It was a mess, broken glass, curtains half torn. Amaka sprawled on the couch, scrolling her phone. Kunle pulled Tunde aside. "Guy, wet and be this? This babe is dragging you down." Tunde's face hardened. "You don't understand." Amaka overheard and laughed. "Uncle Kunle, a beg, face your life. Not jealousy dey worry you." Kunle left, shaking his head. The biggest blow came on a Friday night. Tunde stopped at a lounge in Ikeja, hoping to surprise Amaka. Instead, he saw her on another man's lap, laughing, the man's hand on her waist. His heart sank. He turned to leave. She ran after him, crying, "He's nobody, just a course mate. Please, Tunde, don't leave me." She sobbed in the parking lot, clinging to him. Against all reason, he forgave her again. But something inside him cracked. It broke weeks later. She demanded money for a trip to Ghana with her friends. He refused. She screamed, threw insults, then smashed his flat-screen TV against the wall. As the screen shattered, so did something inside him. Quietly, he said, "Pack your things." She froze. "What? Pack your things?" She laughed nervously. "Stop playing, you can't leave me." But he brought her bag, dropped it at her feet. For once, her tears didn't move him. He watched her gather her clothes, crying, begging. When the door finally closed behind her, the apartment fell silent. The silence was suffocating. Nights were hardest. He missed her body, her fire, her laughter. Sometimes his phone buzzed with her calls, but he let it ring out. He buried himself in work again, rebuilding his savings, returning to his old routines. His boys welcomed him back slowly. Kunle clapped his back one evening and said, "Finally, you day breathe again." He smiled, but it was a sad smile. Months later, on a quiet night in Surulere, he sat on his balcony with a bottle of gulder, city lights flickering in the distance. He thought of her, her chaos, her beauty, the fire that made him feel alive and destroyed him at the same time. He whispered into the night, "Amaka, I'll always love you, but I choose peace." And with that, he finished his drink, stood, and closed the balcony door behind him. Tunde was never quite the same. He carried the scars, the lessons, and the memory of a love so fiery it almost burned him to ash. He learned that sometimes walking away doesn't mean the love is gone. It means you choose yourself, even when your heart still lingers. And in Lagos, where traffic never sleeps and love stories are born and broken every day, Tunde's tale became another quiet reminder. Fire can warm, but it can also destroy.